I think that's all questions I have.
Is that all you got?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had another question, but it's fine. Let's go to the big time
Ask
question.
it. I want that question.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Let's go to the big time question. Okay. So the slot is called Reimagine.
Okay.
It's called Reimagine the Kingdom.
I noticed.
I'm going to ask you to reimagine this kingdom and tell me what you'd like to see this kingdom look like in the short, in the medium, and the long term.
This
you're not always gonna be
takes
youth.
me back with something that we wanted to do, but COVID happened. I guess it's an excuse for everyone who says they have plans.
Yeah.
But it's the truth.
But it's true.
Yeah.
We had one thing we called the Lesotho We Want 2020 Summit. We're going to have a huge summit. Oh, sorry. But we're going to have a huge summit.
You can say it, it's the big
You
time.
can say
it's
it's
the big
all
time.
right.
All right. And we're going to have a huge summit. And in this summit, we're just going to reimagine our country and put it in a document and say, this is the
Still
youth charter.
possible, though.
We are going to do that. We're still going to do that. Absolutely. So, the Lesotho that I want, Kabane, in the short term, is to see young people of this country being on the decision-making tables, be it in the boardroom, be it in parliament, be it in the cabinet room, or whatever they call it, but being on the table, making decisions. But in the short term, it doesn't mean things start thriving, but it's the first step. But then in terms of the long term or the medium term, seeing their presence on that table becoming something great for this country. Our country has been reduced to a lot of mediocrity. We appreciate a lot of things, or we just accept them as they are. We are behaving as if we are, a friend of mine said earlier when we were having lunch, and said, we pretend as if, or we are behaving as if we are a first world country and a third world country, because we're just accepting things as they are. So getting to a point where we do not appreciate mediocrity, we are able to say this road has to be fixed, we're able to say certain people have to be employed, we're able to say corruption doesn't have to happen, and it is exactly that. Nowadays we have like a format or a country that is imagined by the West or other powers that are much greater than us as countries. They say to you, declare COVID-19 as a state of emergency, or, and then you declare it. The youth of your own country say declare unemployment as a state of emergency. You're like, no, we're on the right track. You understand?
And
so
you get shot
basically,
for
we
it.
need to get to a point where we're able to know the problems of our country and have the solutions of that. So our country has to be a country that provides solutions, that adds value to the world, not becomes a problem. Currently, Lesotho is a problem to the world. If world leaders were to sit down and decide what happens to this country, they would say, no, let's just dissolve that country. It's useless. They would. Literally. We are a headache to South Africa. We are a headache to the SADC community. We're a burden to everyone. Why? Because we have leaders that really do not care. So I'd like to see countries of the world want to do business with us, want to sit with us on the table and say, I can work with this person. I can be a partner with this person. He's not going to be a burden. When you have that friend who's always sobbing and I have this problem, I have that problem. When they come your way, you're like,
You already know.
man, I don't want to meet this person. So that's what we are. President Ramaphosa sees Lesotho on his desk. He's like, good Lord, what is happening there? That's exactly what's happening. That's what our country has become. And this is a reality. It's really not funny. It is funny, but it's not. So that's what we should be. President Joe Biden or President-elect Joe Biden should be like, I'm excited to be president because I'm going to be working with countries like Lesotho.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
So that's the Lesotho that I want. That's the Lesotho that I envision in the long term and in the short term.
Well, I did say I was done with questions, but I just realized that there was one that I wanted to ask, and I think I need to ask it. What do you have to say about international media giving the movement more airtime than our own media?
I must appreciate national media. I think
our media's been
they've covered Bachasha down pretty well,
yeah.
and better than they did the last time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I must say why. There's no political air, or we're not going to elections or anything. The media in this country, I'm sorry to condemn, but they have also played a part in how the country is, because we go to elections, everyone starts standing where they are supposed to stand, or wherever the briefcase is at, or whatever. That's the allegation sometimes. So I'm just saying the media is also played a
polarized.
part in where we are. But right now, no one is paying media for whatever because
sure.
we are not close to elections. But you'll see next year,
Yeah.
come next year,
Yup.
you'll see when people start taking sides. You start saying Bachasha down, they're like, no, wait.
Not here.
Wait, but then they're
Hold
like,
a
Bachasha,
second.
come here. Let's talk Bachasha down. Exactly. That's what happens in our country. But I hope we have burned enough. I hope they've also learned and learned their lessons, and 2022 is going to be different. I have a very strong feeling, and I've always said to my friends, my feeling is always right. I have a very, very strong feeling that 2022 is going to be magical. We're going to see a different type of election, different type of politics.
Are young
different
kids
type-
registering for
they
votes?
should. Now we have IEC fully flashed. I think I saw that on the
Yeah,
news somewhere.
today.
If it's fully flashed, we are hoping that IEC can, as soon as possible, open for registration. Some of us are going to throw ourselves into not the ring, but I mean trying to educate people we need young people to register. We need them to vote. Less than 20% of our young people are the ones who are voting. So can you imagine if we bridge the gap and we have somewhat 95 or 85
And we
young
make up the
people?
bulk of
We
the
literally
country's
could have a
population.
stable country.
Yeah.
We're having coalitions that are causing, governments to collapse every now and then because there's another population that's not voting. You start having young people come in, I promise you we're going to have a one-party country, leading or two. But we're going to have a clear aligning of opinion. I think as young people, because we are united, then we'll be able to throw our weight behind a certain individual. And then we're going to have a stable country. We need a stable country.
Okay. I'm happy with
Let's
that.
reimagine the kingdom on this Throwback Thursday. What is the date? It is the 19th of November,
Monumental.
2020. Great to have the president of the
Transform Lesotho Initiative.
TLI in the studio. Thanks, bro. That was really good.
Thank you.
Thoroughly enjoyed
so
that
much.
For those
conversation.
that did miss the conversation from beginning, we will have the video up on YouTube. You can also find the Prime Minister's video. So I feel like it's going to be fun.
It'll be a nice little
to kind of-
contrast.
yeah,
It'll
to
be
watch
quite
both
nice.
of
Yeah,
them
nice little
after
contrast.
each other. So.
And hopefully in the not too distant future, and this is something that's being planned, we will have everybody that's been on the Reimagine segment
On a
on
round table.
one panel. Yeah. So
yeah.
so potentially
That
we'll
would be a
have
very
the
intense
leader
table.
of TLI and the Prime Minister
I would
sitting
love to
together.
Sitting
see
at the
man.
same table.
Yeah.
I would love to meet the man.
Yeah.
Well,
knowing
he's a
you,
very
Never met him.
interesting
you're quite a
man.
civil person.
I haven't met him, and I would really love to meet him. And I must say, should 2022 go according to plan, we're in the same constituency, and if I have the courage, I might just take him
You
on.
might run on him.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
That would be
Okay.
Man,
interesting.
speak it into the universe.
Yeah.
You
that would
never
be
know.
quite interesting. But no.
Very
I'm
good.
a
Thanks,
lawyer.
bro. Are you a lawyer, not a politician?
Yeah, well, I'm studying.
Okay.
Anyway.
Very good.
Well, you could be both, you know.
Hi, this is Dia Dile Mohali from Bahali Arts Development Center.